Hello everyone, it's the Anime here, and today we're gonna be discussing Tokyo Revengers episode 5. So yeah, with that, hit that shit. Bitches lost souls, and I know it. Fucking with the whole bunch, you gon' get fucked over. Ferraris and Rovers, these old lucky souls, and I'm with that Cobra. Now that what's left over, they do it all for souls, so you wasn't making no noise. So basically, the episode begins with our character Takemichi getting, well, basically fired from his job because he was gone for 2 weeks. So obviously, you ain't gonna be gone for 2 weeks and just come back. Your ass is fired. Your ass is grass, okay? So basically, he gets fired from his job and then goes back to the police station. I believe it's the police station to meet Hina's brother, so that he can travel back in time. Since the way he travels back in time is via shaking hands, obviously. So they basically come up with this plan, and they find out that, hey, the reason why that the gang fell into despair is because basically Draken died in a fallout in the gang. So in order to stop that, Takemichi has to go back and basically figure out a way to stop the fallout or stop Draken from getting killed for any way possible. So they agree on that, and then they shake hands. And then we get to a juicy part, let me tell you something. So basically, we get introduced to a new character named Emma. And, well, the way we get introduced to this new character named Emma, Takemichi was about to get the pussy. I'm just saying. It was gonna happen. It was gonna happen. Like, no kissing, but I mean, getting the lip. But anyway, I digress. So basically, Emma is on top of Takemichi, and then the phone rings because it believe they're in a karaoke booth. So the phone rings for the karaoke to end, and then Emma says add another 30 minutes. So that they can get the fun business in. And then, well, Emma's on the phone. Takemichi runs out of the room because obviously, this was his old self doing it. Because basically what happens is when when his older version leaves his younger body, basically the new version takes control in a way. I mean, not the new version, the old version of Takemichi. So they kind of switching back and forth. Like when older Takemichi goes back to his regular time, then the old Takemichi goes back into the body and gets control of the body again. It's a little weird, but hey, what can you do? So, yeah. So basically, Takemichi wanting to stay loyal to Hina, runs out of the booth, and then as he's running, he runs into Hina conveniently, and basically, Hina catches saying, "Man, I can't tell Hina what that was," and then Hina just shows up right behind him and says, "What can't you tell me?" And then we have a little comedic moment. And then basically Takemichi's like, did she just already find out? Just freaking out. And then Takemichi gets a call from Draken to meet up at a certain spot because they're going to have a meeting there. Or they need to meet there. And basically Takemichi goes and Hinata insists on going, so she goes too. And they show up there. And then we get bikers, show up, and they're like, who the fuck is this kid? Takemichi? Who? Until Draken shows up, and then Draken's like, ayo, no, it wasn't Draken. It was one of the higher tiers of the biker gang. Hold up, no, this is our guest, okay? You have mistreated guest, you're gonna talk to Mikey and Draken. I don't think you want that. Behave now. And then Draken comes up, and it's just like, why did you bring your wifey here? Because they call them wifeys, the wifed up already. And then, Takemichi's like, well, I didn't know this was going to be a gang thing. What's happening? And basically, Draken's like, it's alright. And because he brought Emma, which Emma is Drakon's girlfriend. Now, you would think this would cause some conflict, but later on, we'll see Drakon just doesn't give a flying fuck. Okay? But as soon as Hina finds out that, you know, Tamichi was about to get laid by Emma, you know, and they're dating, you know, she didn't break up with him. No. Hina gave a second chance, but Tamichi was about to catch some hands, and catching hands he did. Okay, he got bruised up, he got beat up, he got all the wonder words. Okay, you know, you think he's into BDSM with how much he got beat up. Like, he had a black eye there, bruise everywhere. But anyhow, and then then Hinata just stomps off because she's a little mad. And then Emma comes up to him like, well, I didn't mean to ruin your relationship or anything, but even though it wasn't really ruined, it was just like, really, bruh. But, like, Emma so Tamichi, like, I didn't mean to ruin your relationship or anything. I was trying to get Drakon jealous. He doesn't notice me. He doesn't love me or anything. And basically we find out that Drakon really only cares about, number one, the gang, and Mikey, which, oh god, the fanfiction, I can always read it. Oh god, no. PTSD. But yeah. But anyhow. So basically, Emma's just like, yeah, I just want, you know, Drakon to notice me, because Emma is Drakon's girlfriend and doesn't get noticed a lot. So, by him a lot. So yeah. And another thing is, then we learn about this new gang, Magellan, I think it is called Magellan. And basically, Magellan rules like a part of Shibuya, I think it is, like part of Shibuya. And they're a 2-year generation older gang than the gang that Tamiichi's kind of like following at this point, or the gang that Mikey leads. So it's kind of like gang wars, because the reason is basically Manjibu. I'm just gonna say Majin Buu. Yep, Majin Buu. Yep, that's the gang name now. Basically, beat up one of the members of the gang that Mikey leads. Raped the girlfriend. Oh shit, that's gonna get demonetized. And beat up his family and his siblings. Now these like Majibuya. They're no joke. They just do what they want. They're hell raisers. It does not matter. They just do what they want, okay? So, obviously, this guy wants revenge. And Mikey's like, okay, do you want revenge? And then the guy's like, yeah. And then Mikey, you know, gives a really powerful speech and says, so, does anyone think we shouldn't fight him? No one answers. It's wartime, baby. And this happens, okay? They set war at August 3rd, which conveniently is the time that Drakon gets stabbed, you know? So we're gonna see what happens there, you know? So in order to see how, like, there's a fallout between the group, you know, Tamichi, after this meeting the next day, decides, okay, I'll just follow Drakon around. So he starts following Drakon around, and this is where we get to see a little bit more of the Mikey-Drakon relationship and how it works. And it's kind of like a big bro, little bro relationship, because as you can see, like when they're having dinner, you know, Drakon's kind of like acting like the adult, like everything, and what's his face? Mikey's acting like the kid, you know? So it's kind of like a big bro, little bro relationship. And then, you know, Mikey throws a fit over his food not having a flag, and then Mikey, after eating, falls asleep, and then Drakon has to carry him out of the restaurant. Some wholesome moments, some very wholesome moments. And then we get a little bit more darker tone when we get to the hospital. This is where it gets serious, okay? We learn some things, and we're like, oh, this raises the tensions high. Like, just the way it's, like, used in the atmosphere raises the tensions high. So, basically, Drakon and Mikey go to a hospital to see, you know, the girlfriend that got beaten up. That was one of the girlfriend's members. One of the members' girlfriends that got beat up, right? And raped. She's in the hospital. She's in a coma, and they come to, like, visit her and kind of, like reminisce on what they're gonna have to do, what they're gonna have to beat up, like, actual gang members that's like 3 times the size and stuff like that. They came to reminisce, and then this is where his father and mother of the girl that's in the coma that got beaten up, they come rushing in. It's like, what are you guys doing here? We don't want no gang members around here. Like, what? And then the father starts yelling at him. Mikey kind of starts talking back until Jacon just makes him bow his head, like just presses his head down, makes him bow, and tells like Mikey to shut up, like just shut the fuck up. That's what Mikey does. I mean, that's what Jacon tells Mikey, and Mikey does what Jacon says. So Mikey shut up. And this is where we kind of have a heartfelt scene about how, like, the father and mother just start crying about how she did nothing wrong. Why does she have to be a part of it? And they walk away and say, like, don't ever come here again, to Jacon and Mikey. So then Jacon speaks up and, like, hey, to Mikey, like, hey, you gotta show some remorse, man. Like, these people had nothing to do with it. Like, yeah, we can be in a game, but we can't get any innocence involved, And then Mikey's like, yeah, you're right. And then this, since Tamaichi's following them, is where Tamaichi learns, like, oh, this is why Mikey turned bad and all that, because, Jacon's his heart, so if Jacon dies, then Mikey's gonna turn bad and just go out and kill people. So, yeah, then this is where basically the episode ends. So honestly, I'm gonna give this episode an 8 out of 10. It was really good, very wholesome moments, very serious moments, very funny moments. It was a good mix of everything, So honestly, it's setting up for like future events in the manga, and like let me tell you, I know the season's gonna end off just like based on what would be a good part to end off. And honestly, it just gets better and better from here. Like, just keep on watching the series. It's going to get better and better. Don't drop it. It's great, honestly. So, yeah, 8 out of 10. They adapted everything from the manga very well. They could have been a little bit better outdrawn, but hey, I know it's an animation, so it's gonna be less detailed than the manga. So, hey, what can you do about it? So, yeah, with that, if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, or not. You have free will. And, yeah, with that, Z Anime, signing off.